Hi, and welcome to Cooking from Scratch. Today, we're making Spumoni cookies. Spumoni cookies are a tri-colored cookie with Italian origins from Naples, hence its name of the cousin look-alike, Napoleon ice cream. It's lost popularity in Italy, but nevertheless has remained part of Italian-American tradition. For this recipe, it is a sugar cookie base. You can either follow the instructions in this video to make your own sugar cookie dough, or if you're in a pinch for time, you can also use 2 to 3 logs of sugar cookie pre-made dough. So to make the sugar cookie dough, we need 4 sticks of softened butter, and we're also going to add 3 cups of sugar. And we're going to cream these together until they're nice and fluffy and light. Alright, once the sugar is incorporated into the butter, we're going to go ahead and add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. We're going to go ahead and mix this into our butter-sugar mixture. And we're also going to go ahead and add 4 eggs. And we're going to mix our eggs into our butter-sugar-vanilla mixture until it's nice and combined. And then we're also going to add a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of baking powder, and 6 cups of all-purpose flour. And you'll see that I'm mixing this dough by hand. I like to do that instead of using a mixer because I find it creates for a more tender cookie. If you're interested in learning more about the 4 tips to a really good cookie, please click the link below. So our sugar cookie is finished here. You'll notice it's come together and into a nice ball. And it's nice and soft, but it's also not going to stick too much to your hand. So at this point, we need to divide our dough into 3 equal portions. Alright, so to make our chocolate flavored dough, we're going to add about a cup of baking cocoa. I like to use a mix between half regular and half the special dark cocoa. And I'm going to mix some of the cocoa into our sugar cookie dough. And I'm also going to add about a 1/4 cup of milk and about 2 teaspoons of kalua. And I'm just going to mix this until it's all combined. I'm also going to add about 3/4 cup of flour. And again, this amount of flour might vary slightly depending on how humid your environment is, but essentially you're looking for a dough that's soft but doesn't stick too much to your hand. It should also come together as a ball in your bowl. Alright, so here's our finished chocolate dough. Alright, so to make the red portion of our Spumoni cookie, I'm going to add about a teaspoon of red food coloring. And then I'm also going to add a 10-ounce jar of maraschino cherries that have been drained and chopped. You want them chopped fairly finely so they're not in big chunks when you slice the cookies later. And I'm also going to add about a 1/2 cup of flour. And again, you just want to mix this until combined. The amount of flour might vary slightly depending on how humid your environment is, but you're looking for a dough that's going to be soft but not going to be too sticky when you touch it with your hands. Alright, and we're going to make our green pistachio dough, and we're going to add about a teaspoon or so of green food coloring, and then about a 1/2 cup of chopped pistachios. You want these chopped fairly finely so you're not getting a big chunk when you're slicing your cookies later. So now that our 3 colors have been mixed, we want to divide each of the 3 doughs in half. And we're going to take each of those halves and we're going to shape them into a rectangular shaped log. It's going to be about 12 to 15 inches long and about 1.5 to 2 inches in terms of width. And you want to start with your pistachio dough first and make sure it's nice and flat on one edge. And then we're also going to do the same thing with our chocolate dough. And we're going to put our chocolate dough right on top of our pistachio dough. And we're going to do the exact same thing with our maraschino cherry dough. And then I like to just kind of press in the sides and make sure that they're all fairly straight. I might roll it on the table just to have an extra flat surface and press it a little bit. And then I'm going to wrap this in plastic wrap and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. You need to refrigerate it for at least 4 hours, but I like to do it overnight. I find that it makes a little bit better of a cookie when it's super cold from the refrigerator overnight. Alright, so we're back. Our dough has been chilling in the refrigerator overnight, and I'm going to go ahead and slice this into about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch slices. And then I'm going to bake each slice at 350 degrees for 8 to 10 minutes. These will puff up a little bit, but I'm going to leave about 1.5 to 2 inches between each cookie, just to give them some space to bake as they cook in the oven. And here's the finished product, Spumoni cookies. If you like this video, please like and subscribe.